That white fluff in the corner of your plant may not be mold. Look closer. If there is a small oval body underneath it, or the fluff seems to move, you are probably looking at a living mealybug colony. Do not carry the plant across your collection for a better look. Move the neighboring plants away and isolate this one now. What you do next can determine whether you treat one plant or an entire shelf. Mealybugs are small insects that feed on plant sap. Their white wax makes them look like lint, fungus, or dried residue. The middle of a clean leaf is rarely their favorite place. They hide where your eyes do not naturally go. Leaf joints, crowns, overlapping leaves, pruning scars, the soil line, and sometimes the roots. So first, confirm what you are seeing. Mineral deposits form a crust or pale watermark. Mold spreads across damp material without an insect body beneath it. A mealybug has a soft oval body under the wax, often with tiny filaments around its edge. Cottony clumps may also protect eggs. 3 clues make the diagnosis stronger. A sticky leaf or shelf means the insects may be producing sugary honeydew. A black film can then grow on that sugar. This is sooty mold. And if ants keep visiting the same stem, they may be coming for the honeydew. One insect does not mean the plant is doomed. The real danger is a hidden population. Heavy feeding can weaken growth, distort new leaves, cause yellowing, and make a stressed plant decline faster. Panic can still do more damage than the pest if you soak the roots in random chemicals or tear the plant apart without evidence. Mealybugs keep returning because the adults you see are only part of the infestation. Eggs can remain protected inside waxy masses. Newly hatched nymphs, called crawlers, are tiny and mobile. They can move into fresh crevices or onto a neighboring plant before you notice them. Some species feed below the soil. Older insects also have enough wax to reduce the effect of treatments that must touch the pest. This is why a plant can look perfectly clean for a week, then suddenly show white fluff again. There is another trap. White wax can remain after the insect is dead. Do not count every old mark as a new outbreak. Touch the area with a clean swab and inspect it under bright light. Fresh wax beside a living body, a new crawler, or a cottony mass in a place that was clean last week is meaningful. A dry stain that never changes is not the same evidence. This distinction prevents endless treatment of a plant that is already recovering. Here is Anna's rule. Isolate first, then inspect from the leaves down to the roots. Put the plant over a clean white surface so fallen insects are visible. Photograph the worst area before treatment. Then inspect nearby plants, especially where leaves touched. A plant is not clean simply because you cannot see cotton from across the room. Now judge the severity. A light infestation means a few insects in accessible places, no widespread sticky honeydew, and no colonies packed inside new growth. Start with physical removal. Touch individual insects with a cotton swab lightly dampened with household isopropyl alcohol. Use 70% alcohol or less, avoid healthy tissue as much as possible, and test a hidden area first because sensitive plants can be damaged. Watch the wax collapse. The insect may turn light brown. Lift the residue away with a clean swab instead of smearing it along the stem. Replace dirty swabs. Clean leaf joints carefully, but do not flood a crown where liquid can remain trapped. On a sturdy plant, a firm stream of water can remove exposed colonies. Support the stem, keep the potting mix from becoming saturated, and wash away from other plants. This reduces the visible population. It does not prove that eggs and hidden insects are gone. An established infestation looks different. Insects in several zones, recurring cottony masses, sticky honeydew, or crawlers returning after cleaning. At that point, use a product specifically labeled for mealybugs and for the indoor use you intend. Insecticidal soaps and horticultural oils can reduce exposed stages when coverage is thorough. They fail when the spray lands on broad leaf surfaces while the colony stays protected inside the joints. Treat the plant in zones. Begin with the newest growth. Check each joint, then the leaf undersides, stems, crown, soil line, and pot. Finish one side before rotating the plant. This takes longer than a quick spray, but it stops you from cleaning the obvious leaf while missing the colony behind it. Plant structure changes the method. A smooth rubber plant is easier to inspect than an orchid with overlapping bases or a dense succulent rosette. Apply liquids carefully where crowns can trap moisture. Test delicate or hairy leaves before broad coverage. Read the label. Follow its interval and safety directions. Keep the plant out of direct sun when the label requires it. Never combine products because each one sounds gentle. More chemistry creates more opportunities to injure the plant and yourself. Then expect follow-up. Protected eggs and insects may survive the first pass. Reinspect on a fixed schedule and repeat a labeled treatment only when the label allows it. Your goal is a population that declines across several inspections, not a dramatic clean plant for one afternoon. The most common failure is changing methods every few days. One treatment is sprayed, then alcohol is added, then the plant is repotted, then another product is applied before anyone checks what worked. The plant becomes stressed while the hidden colony survives. Choose a safe method that fits the severity, document it, follow the correct interval, and judge the trend over time. Keep a simple log: date, location, number of insects, and treatment used. Return to those exact spots next time. The log tells you whether the same colony survived, a new generation appeared, or insects are emerging from somewhere you never treated. Now consider the roots. White wax around drainage holes, insects repeatedly returning from the soil line, or a declining plant that stays infested after careful treatment can justify a root inspection. Root mealybugs can live in the potting medium and around roots, appearing as white material against the darker mix. Do not unpot every plant after finding one insect. Root disturbance adds stress. Inspect below the soil when the evidence points there. If root mealybugs are confirmed, isolate the old medium, follow reliable local guidance for treatment and repotting, and never reuse the infested mix. Severe infestations require an honest decision. A valuable plant may justify weeks of quarantine. A common plant covered in colonies, including its growing points and roots, can continue exposing the whole collection. Horticultural authorities often recommend discarding heavily infested plants because complete control is difficult. Sentimental value matters, but so do the surrounding plants and the time needed for repeated treatment. If you keep it, maintain strict isolation. 2 clean days do not end a quarantine. How do you know treatment is working? Compare dated photographs. Inspect the same joints over a clean card. Look for fewer adults, fewer fresh cottony masses, less honeydew, and no crawlers on neighboring plants. Old damage will remain, but clean new growth is strong evidence of recovery. Finally, inspect every new plant under bright light. Check tight joints, leaf undersides, and drainage holes. Keep new arrivals separate from the established collection. Where practical, about a month of quarantine gives hidden pests time to reveal themselves. Remove dead leaves and avoid crowding plants so tightly that inspection becomes impossible. Mealybugs succeed because they hide, reproduce behind wax, and send tiny crawlers into new spaces. Your advantage is consistency. Remember Anna's rule: isolate the plant, expose every hiding place, and keep checking until the new growth stays clean.